If you subscribe to our YouTube channel and our reaction channel, either one, when they reach 50,000 subscribers, one of you will win $500. So you can subscribe to this one and our other channel, and potentially, if you're the luckiest person in the world, you could win $1,000.
Oh,
that was short-lived. What's up, guys? Welcome to Amigos React. Just kidding. It's a Los Amigos Gringos, the podcast, not the reaction channel by Indian people.
yeah.
I'm Brendon. This is Nick. You can find us on Instagram. Forget about that. Just we're here. All right. It's YouTube. Podcast. Who cares about Instagram?
Yeah.
Anyway, so this podcast, if you've never listened before, it's just two dudes being bros. You know when you're hanging out with your friends and you guys are being hilarious? Well, you think you're being hilarious, or you're being deep and you think you're so smart. And you're like, we should start a podcast.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what we did.
That's how this started.
And now we're here.
And we're sitting at a table talking into microphones and talking about a whole lot of nothing.
We're like, dude, we're so fun. Like, if people heard us talk, they would like want to listen.
They're like, that's exactly how we were.
You turn that light on.
We were like,
And that one. Yeah, that's exactly what happened. Basically, ever since like high school, we used to ride around in a car and sing and make jokes and take Adderall. And we would just talk so much. And we're like, dude, if there was a camera in here, like, people would be like, these guys are something special.
You have no idea how famous we would be. And then we made like one Vine and we're like, we don't know how to do Vines.
Oh, yeah. We made a Vine where I was like, a tornado flew around my room before you came. And I think it was just like,
you just
we
threw
messed up
laundry
my room.
on my, that was my room. You just threw my laundry across my room because I had laundry on my floor. You just threw it.
And basically, we were not the next Jake and Logan Paul.
Yeah, we're not. We weren't very good at Vine. We were good at well, no, we weren't good at Vine at all. We had other Vines. There was the one where I jumped off the roof into your pool. And then there was the one where we found a firecracker somewhere.
Yeah.
And then we put that metal cap on top of it. And that thing went shooting off and we never found it again.
Dang.
Yeah.
I love firecrackers. I used to make my own firecrackers.
Yeah.
So I went to what's that store? The one by Costco and on the 101 in Yorkshire. No, not the 101, the 17 in Yorkshire.
Oh, menswear or
the Great Outdoors.
Sportsman's Warehouse.
Maybe.
Yes.
Yeah, Sportsman Warehouse.
The one with the elk in front.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I bought black gunpowder.
Yes.
I bought I got black gunpowder and I got these fuses. It was this long fuse, you can cut it.
Yeah.
And it was like waterproof.
Sick.
And then I went to Walmart and I got tin foil and duct tape.
Smart.
So you take the tin foil,
get
a good piece of tin foil.
Yep.
Put some black gunpowder in there.
Oh yeah.
Then you crumple it into a ball, but leave the fuse sticking out and push it real hard together.
Yep.
And then you duct tape tight. Duct tape, and then you got a little firecracker.
Oh yeah.
And it won't like hurt anyone. Like if you hold it, it'll hurt you.
Yeah.
But it doesn't like throw shrapnel or anything. It's just loud.
No. Yeah.
But we used to blow up teddy bear heads.
Oh, that's the best.
I think I blew up a teddy bear head once and it like caught on fire.
That's cool.
Pretty dope.
One time, Aaron almost burned his house down by throwing a Beanie Baby on his lamp and leaving it there, and it started burning.
Dude.
And we left. It was in his room, and we left the house, came back, because we walked down to Circle K to get Polar Pops. Came back, and the freaking thing was like smoking, and I was like, holy crap.
Were his parents not home?
Nobody was home, but he found it, and then his sister, who is one of the most unintelligent people I've met, started grilling us about, you could have burned the house down, blah 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 blah, and he was like, you were here the whole time and you didn't even see that. So, so what did you do about it?
The whole house is filled with smoke, and you're like, hey,
no, there's like it wasn't like crazy smoking. There's a little smoke going down the hallway. Like it was to the point where when we walked into the house, we started walking down the hallway to his room and we kind of saw a little bit of smoke. And I was like, am I seeing things or is that smoke? And then we opened his door and it was a little smoky in there and pulled the Beanie Baby off. And I was like, oh, dude, there's a big old burned like bulb indent on it because it landed right on the light bulb.
Yeah.
That's why it was burning. But yeah.
All right. I have 2 similar fire stories.
Nice.
So I'll go when I was a teenager and then when I was a little kid.
Okay.
All right. So when I was a teenager, I had a bearded dragon.
Cool.
Yeah. Dope.
What was his name?
I don't remember. Rocco.
Oh, that's a nice name.
And then I forgot what the other one was. I had a little one named Rocco.
Mm.
And then I got a bigger one that was an adult, like someone gave me an adult one.
Okay.
Rocco, he never grew past like 7 inches long.
Really?
Yeah, because one time I went out of town. I don't know what I was doing. I went out of town like it was a business trip, but I was like 12. But or maybe I went to my friend's house and I told my sister to take care of it, like feed it and give it water.
Yeah.
And she decided to redecorate its cage.
Mm.
And she took a big rock that was in there and accidentally dropped it on its back.
Oh.
And I know like its legs were limp. And like I was like, he never moves much anymore. And he never grew either.
Yeah.
But he stayed alive for like years.
But he was paralyzed.
He was paralyzed.
From the waist down.
Yeah, from the waist down. And she didn't tell me until like years later. I was like, why does he never grow? And he like he has a hard time moving around. She's like, yeah, you remember you told me to like take care of him? The rock slipped out of my hand.
Good job, Shayla. Oh my God. That's so funny.
Yeah.
She's like all sad. She don't want to tell you.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
man.
anyway, the fire thing. So the big one, the bigger bearded dragon was in my room when we lived at an apartment on Bell. And they have heat lamps to keep them warm.
Yeah.
And the heat lamps have little switches to turn them on and off, kind of like that lamp right there.
Okay, yeah.
Just like a flip switch on the black thing on the cord. So I put the heat lamp on the floor. It wasn't on, but when I walked in and out of the room at one point, I stepped on that little switch and turned it on. Mm-hmm. And then I don't remember how long later, but the room was smoky and there was just like a black, round, burnt piece of carpet.
Oh, shit.
So luckily, we cut that on time.
That's crazy.
And then the other fire story was Shayla's dad, so my sister's dad, not the same guy. Mm-hmm. My mom liked to have fun. We were at his house when I was like probably 3 or 4 years old. Mm-hmm. And he used to like try to teach me Spanish sometimes. And so what he did was he handed me a cigarette that was still on fire. It was just a butt, right? Yeah. And he said, go put it in the toilet in Spanish. I don't remember how I said it. Yeah. And I was like, okay. Yeah. And when I got to the bathroom to put it in the toilet, my little brain, I don't know why, dude, I did weird shit when I was a kid like this. Mm-hmm. I saw the trash can with the toilet paper in it. Oh, yeah. And I was like, light it on fire. Yeah. Yeah. And I was like, what if I put this in there? Would it catch on fire?
Oh, yeah. I was the same way when I was a kid.
And I was like, I don't know if I was thinking maybe I can like save the day once it is on fire. Yeah. Or something like that.
I never thought past that point. Yeah. I just was like, fire sounds cool. Yeah.
I threw it in there and then left and pretend like nothing happened. And like 30 minutes later, smoke throughout the whole house. Yeah. Because it was just paper. So it smolders a lot. I don't know if it actually caught flames. Yeah. But everyone was yelling. And I don't know why I thought I wouldn't be caught when I was obviously the one that took the cigarette to the bathroom. Yeah. Like, obviously it was me. He's like, why didn't you put it in the toilet? Why would you put it in the trash can? I was like, didn't think about it, but I literally thought about it. Like, let's burn this shit down.
Dude, one time when I was a kid, I was like 9. And I tried to start my dad's charcoal grill by myself. I had no idea how to do it. I'd just seen him do it a bunch of times. So I was like, I know what I'm doing, and I couldn't find the charcoal. So I took a bunch of branches off of our tree and they were like green branches. So I finally got them to light on fire and it was just so smoky.
Like with gas or lighter fluid?
No.
Just like held a match with
a lighter. Yeah.
Jeez. That would take forever.
It took a long time.
Did you use like leaves or anything else?
It took me like an hour to accomplish this.
That's like how? Like, did you use leaves or anything?
I don't remember. Leaves? I just remember that I put branches on, like just ripped them off of our orange or our grapefruit tree. And I just broke them up and they were like bendy, because they were all alive. Yeah. I was like trying to break them apart and put them in there. Finally got them to light on fire and it started smoking really bad. And my dad like just came home from work and he was like running into the backyard because he thought something was actually on fire. And he's like, what the fuck's going on? And I was like, I'm trying to cook some chicken or something. It was something stupid. And he's like, no. And he put the lid on it. He's like, what the hell are you doing? It's like, if you want chicken, ask me to make it for you.
Dude, that's why I don't want to have kids. They do stuff.
Yeah.
But like, and it seems like some kind of cool idea to us at the time. And then we just do it.
Yep.
And then like it could destroy our lives.
Well, I mean, like you still have that little voice inside your head sometimes that's just like, what if you did this?
Yeah.
You know, but you know better to not do it.
Now, yeah.
Now.
But when you're a kid, you're like, yeah, what if I did?
Yeah. Oh, okay. Because your like perception of reality is still very fantasized.
Yeah, it's like a weird fantasy.
Yeah. You think you're a superhero like your entire child. Like I did. I thought I was just the coolest person in the entire world.
Oh, you're the main character.
Yeah. Yeah. I've always been Denzel. That's never changed.
Still Denzel. I will be till the day I die.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll never be the guy with the graphs.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, I've done some weird stuff, man. I remember, this is a funny and embarrassing story.
Oh, okay.
When I was in kindergarten, I got a couple pee-poo stories.
Oh, okay. I got plenty of pee stories.
Yeah. Well, I got a poo story that's pretty funny. Let's start with the poo story. It's the most embarrassing and the funniest one.
Okay.
It's not that long of a story. But I don't know why I wanted to do this. But I took a crap at school. Right?
Yeah.
Regular turd. Nice hard turd.
Yeah.
Not diarrhea or anything. And then when I got up, I looked at it and was like, I wonder what it feels like.
Yeah.
So I grabbed some toilet paper, reached in the toilet and grabbed the turd. But then I just threw it on the side of the toilet and then just left. I don't know why. But I've seen other kids do that at school. I feel like I've seen...
Like on the side of the bowl? Or like
on
outside?
The floor. Yeah.
You're just like, plop.
Yeah, I literally got toilet paper, grabbed it, threw it on the floor. Like I thought it'd be funny to leave a turd on the floor.
Oh my God. That's crazy.
I don't know why. And then I just washed the shit out of my hands and then like left.
Dude, that's so crazy.
Kids do weird shit.
It's so crazy. Yeah, so Brody's being potty trained right now. The other day, I was watching him and he wanted to go to the park and I was like, hey, let's go to the bathroom real quick before we go to the park, because if you have to go pee while we're at the park, we're just going back home and we're staying there. So let's go pee now. And he's like, okay. And he goes pee. And the only thing he really needs help with is pulling his pants back up. And he was like, okay, I'm done. So I was like, okay, I was going to go pull his pants back up. He's like, you gotta wipe my wiener because he's not circumcised.
Oh.
And I was like, it never occurred to me. Is that a thing that uncircumcised guys have to do? I guess. Because their skin is like always over their head for the most part.
So when they pee gets in there?
I guess.
That is so weird. So is his dad not circumcised?
No? No, he's not.
Because usually they say like you're supposed to match.
I don't know.
You gotta have matching wieners with your son.
I don't know if that's I'm sure that's why he did that.
Yeah.
You know?
I think it's because I've heard it before, and I think it makes the kid feel weird if he sees his dad's.
Because they're different.
And it looks different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But that's weird that people nowadays don't get circumcised.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's
like, I know it's the natural thing. It's weird that we do it, actually.
It's actually, nowadays, it's actually kind of weird that we do it because we don't need to anymore. We're so clean, we don't have to circumcise ourselves anymore. But yeah, it's still.
But I'd argue it looks better.
It looks way better.
Way better.
Yeah, dude. It's just like, what can you compare that to?
I don't even know, dude.
I don't know.
You can compare it to dicks. That's it.
I was going to say makeup, but I was like, no, that's not really the same thing.
Clothing.
Yeah.
Like a weird turtleneck Christmas sweater that your grandma gave you.
Yeah.
Versus like a chic, tight muscle shirt.
I feel like it's like if you had a giant mole on your face.
Yeah. Why wouldn't you remove it?
Why wouldn't you get that removed? Like, it's obviously you don't want that there. The big old thing on your face looks like it's its own freaking being on your living off of you.
But it's funny that we think that way because that's literally in nature. That's what it looks like.
Yeah.
But because it's been done for so long, and that's what we're born with.
Yeah.
That we're like, oh, it's weird to have it.
Yeah, but it's funny because guys that aren't circumcised, they think circumcision is weird because that's
what they grew up with.
Yeah, it's reversed. It's like, whoa, crazy. Because I've had this conversation with Aaron plenty of times. He's like, your dick's weird. Not really, but
you're like, let's ask the ladies.
Yeah, it's just like it doesn't phase them at all usually.
Yeah,
because they don't really think about it. As I feel like a circumcised person thinks about it way more than uncircumcised. Probably.
I think no.
Looks like a fucking anteater,
I feel
bro.
I feel like they think about it more because they got to be the odd man out
nowadays
in America.
Yeah, I would say they're the odd man out.
What do you guys think?
Yeah,
ladies, anyone that watches this show that's a lady,
ooh,
or the homosexuals.
We got a good question. Do girls prefer circumcised or uncircumcised?
100%.
Absolutely. But
I just wanted to ask the question.
Yeah, it's
Isn't
just
that what
like.
I just asked?
Did you?
Yeah, I was like, leave in the comments what looks better.
Oh.
And then you're like, I got a question.
It's
like Timon and Pumbaa. You're like, that's a dumb question.
I have an original thought.
That'll never work.
Let's
do
work.
This.
This is how it's going to work. It's like, you know what? If you compared that to like vaginas, a lot of labia. That's what that looks like.
Yeah.
You know?
But I feel like it's worse.
I mean, a lot of labia, I feel like isn't
a whole lot
big
of labia
deal.
I've never seen like so much that it looks weird.
I have.
I've seen like in maybe videos.
I've seen pretty long labia, which it was to the point where I was just like, okay, I'm just not gonna look at it.
Yeah.
You know? It's just like, okay, I'll turn the lights off and put like if we need to see, I'll light a candle or something.
Like you know when your dog does something wrong and you look at him and he won't look directly at you?
Yeah, and he's like,
it's you pull the girl's pants down, you're like That's a lot of labia. What? Nothing.
Whoa.
Damn, that's a lot of labia. What? I said there's a ladybug. That ladybug.
I did not extra beef on my sandwich.
I did not order Arby's. I think I was saying that to Lily one time. I was like,
oh, no.
A lot of girls have a lot of roast. What is it called?
Roast beef curtains.
Like
floppy beef curtains.
Roast beef. And she's like, quit calling it roast beef.
Oh, yeah. It's just a name.
Yeah.
It's not supposed to be offensive, I guess.
I wonder what's the longest labia
probably pretty fucking
in all
long.
of time.
I'm sure it's pretty long.
Because the longest dick of all time was like 13 inches. No.
Longer
it was
than that.
longer. What was that, dude?
It's like a 15 or 16, something like that.
It was real long.
Yeah,
I think
crazy.
It
was that dude that put weights on the end of his wiener. He put like, his neck rings. He practically did that with his dick.
No, there's that one guy. Remember we watched the video of it, or we talked about it in like one of our early podcasts.
Big dick.
It's like the thumbnail for one of our early ones. He was a real weird dude. We should react to that next time. He went on like Good Morning America or Good Morning Britain or something.
For having the biggest dick?
Yeah, and it's like big. You can see it through his pants, and it's like literally like my forearm.
Oh my God.
But like thicker than my muscly forearm.
Think of that guy's face.
He's very weird.
Like all of that sounds familiar.
Yeah.
I can't picture it though. That's weird.
We'll look it up. We'll post a picture. Right?
So many videos, man. They just like file through my head.
Yeah. No, we probably talked about the same thing about 3,000 times.
Oh, I know.
Like episode 60.
A lot of times I'll bring something up and I'll be like, did I talk about this already?
But it doesn't really matter because Rogan talks about things a million times too.
He talks about monkeys and he talks about aliens all the time.
It's every time I say like I bring up Rogan when I'm talking about us, I'm like, this sounds so ridiculous. I'm like, it doesn't matter because Rogan does.
Yeah, and Rogan is God, so
it's like you can't even compare this to the Joe Rogan experience.
I mean, you can
like because
if
we have
you
microphones.
Want to. Yeah, there's two guys talking at a desk on a podcast. It's the same thing,
basically.
Pretty much. What's the difference?
And we're sponsored by
One of
AG1.
us isn't bald yet. That's the only difference.
And one of us is on steroids.
Yeah, together we make Joe Rogan.
Yeah. If you're wondering, he's the one on steroids.
Yeah, obviously.
Dude, it's so funny. Let's talk about this. If anyone from my Instagram watches this, which I feel like not many do, but I've never claimed natural.
Oh, yeah.
Never claim natural, but I keep getting like so many comments, especially recently.
Mm.
And dude, if you go on anyone on Instagram, like a fitness person, just anyone that looks kind of jacked or whatever,
Yeah.
and you try to guess what they're on, you look like an idiot. Well, you look like an idiot to the person that you're commenting on.
Yeah.
Probably 90% of the time.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're probably right that they're taking everything.
Yeah.
But in the people in the comments, you probably look like you're a smart guy.
Yeah.
Like, oh, he knows exactly what this guy's taking.
Oh wow. Look at this.
Wow.
He's so smart.
He must know.
Oh wow.
You can't look at someone and know exactly what they're taking.
You will never know. Dude, there's people that you can look at that you think are
natural
on steroids and are actually natural, or vice versa.
Yeah.
Like, you really can't tell. There are ways you can tell, but you never know 100%.
Right.
You know, because you could have like
it's hard. You could know
amazing genetics.
You could know 100% if someone's like on steroids, like if they're huge as hell, then you know 100%.
But it's hard because you have to look at their lifespan. Like, that's what Derek does.
But I'm saying, if you look at someone that's Ronnie Coleman size, every time.
Yeah, okay. That, obviously, if it looks like they can't wipe their own ass,
but just some dude at the gym like me, I bet there's natural people that look like me.
Oh, absolutely.
And the thing is, I have really good genetics.
The Ryan Reynolds video that Derek did he was like, I can't really tell. Because he's always been in really good shape.
Yeah.
He said maybe just to bulk up his shoulders for some videos, but really he's stayed pretty much the same size, and his leanness has been about the same as well.
Yeah. You could never guess.
Yeah.
Like, he could be on TRT. He could be on nothing.
He could just be on like a low dose of tests or something just to boost him a little bit.
And the funny thing is, so like with me, I've been on TRT for 2 years. And like legit TRT, like I was taking 150 milligrams a week for like a year and a half. Then my doctor dropped it to 100 milligrams a week for like the past 5 months now. Been at 100.
Yeah.
Just had an appointment. She bumped me back up to 150.
Yeah.
So, woo-hoo.
Oh yeah.
Let's get it.
Yeah.
Because after 6 days, my levels were like at 300. After I would take a 100 milligram shot, and then 6 days later, I was at 300.
Yeah.
So she's like, all right, you can bump it up a little. But people online think I'm on everything.
Well,
they're like,
it's just the trolls,
it's
dude.
Always,
they're so annoying.
And it's always trend. They think everyone that looks kind of good is on trend.
It's because it's the only steroid they know.
Yeah.
It's because it's the most popular.
Yeah.
Because it's the most outlandish one.
It's the strongest, most ridiculous steroid.
It's crazy. It's like an uncontrollable bull in a china shop, dude.
Yeah.
That is trend if it was symbolic.
It's so stupid. It has so many side effects. And when I was younger, I took everything.
Yeah.
Every kind of steroid. And then I came off for 3 years. And then my natural test never came back.
Yeah.
I was like an old man. I looked like crap, felt like crap. And so I got on TRT. And yeah, but like, so I started young, 18.
Yeah.
It's the first cycle I took, and that was tren.
Yeah.
I took tren and test, like way too much.
Yep.
And I just got like the worst back knee you've ever seen.
Yep.
I was puffy faced.
Needle vitamins.
Needle vitamins. We literally made a video for our senior class. And in the video, we took pictures of my actual steroids.
Yeah.
And we're like, these are needle vitamins.
No one said anything.
Yeah, they didn't know. They thought we got it online.
Yeah. That was so funny, dude.
But yeah, it's so funny. Like, don't ever try to guess what people are on. You're wrong every time. When I was on everything, when I was like taking a bunch of stuff. So anyway, that first cycle, terrible. Like, I could have got better results, like looked better, leaner, not had as much water retention.
Yeah.
On like way less. Way less.
Yeah.
But I blew up, but like so many bad side effects. Like, it was terrible.
Yeah.
And it's because some gym bro was like, yeah, I can sell you this. You should take like this much and this much.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay.
Anything to get big.
Yeah. And it's like way too much.
Yeah.
Pretty much like anyone that starts, they always suggest 500 test and something else.
Yeah.
Dude, 500 tests is way too much.
That's crazy.
I look how I look on 100, 150, depending.
Yeah.
But I mean, I did build a lot of muscle before that, like muscle memory, whatever.
Yeah. 500 is like C-bum status.
500
man.
is Like if you're just a dude that goes to the gym that never wants to compete, you just want to look really, really good. Like, I feel like 250 is like the max. But if you just started like your very first cycle ever,
yeah,
you could do like 150 for a few months, see how much that gets you.
Yeah.
And then if you want more, you can bump it up a little bit at a time.
Yeah.
But to go from nothing to 500 is like side effect city.
Oh, yeah.
But there's a big difference. Like if you have good genetics, you can take a little bit and you can look crazy.
Yeah.
Like pretty good.
Yeah.
You can have crappy genetics, not do good with your eating, and just take a bunch of steroids, and people won't even know you're on steroids. You'll tell them you're on steroids, and they'll laugh at you like you look like shit.
It's so crazy to me, man.
It's just crazy. And then these people online, I guarantee the people that go in my comments are like, he's on trend. This is what did he say? He said, this is what, what did he say? This is what, ridiculous, the word, exaggerated. Not exaggerated, but like, this is what like steroid abuse looks like. This is what like an abundance of steroid abuse looks like. And I was like, dude, you have no idea what you're talking about.
Oh
and
God.
I bet that dude takes stuff. He probably takes more than I actually take.
I bet he doesn't. I bet he's just a fat loser on his couch.
Well, some people, no, because he said he agrees with taking stuff, but in moderate doses.
He probably just watches videos on YouTube.
But he might, no, but like my theory is he takes stuff because he takes like 500 tests or whatever, and he thinks that's a moderate dose, which is not.
Oh, I get what you're saying.
Not, and he doesn't look as good as me.
No.
So he's like, this guy's on tons of stuff because I take this and I don't look like him.
Yeah, because you're doing it wrong.
You're
taking way too much of one thing.
Well, taking too much, but I'd say the biggest thing is genetics.
Yeah, that's another thing. If you're like really prone to hair loss or back knee or all that stuff.
Or if you just don't have good muscle building genetics and you don't have good insertions.
Yeah, also really depends on your insertions.
Like I'm 180 pounds, but when I have a shirt off, I probably look bigger than that.
Yeah.
Because I have good muscle insertions, like the muscle bellies are round and full. Whereas someone else could be like 200 pounds, muscly, but not look as big.
Yeah.
Not look as shredded, whatever. And if you're lean, you look bigger than you are.
Yeah.
You know?
For sure.
And I'm not the best bodybuilder in the world, but
yeah,
I'm saying I have good genetics.
So here's the question. Should I get on steroids?
100%.
Dun, 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 dun.
If you want to go bald. No, I'd say you're making like really good gains without it.
Yeah, I know.
So I feel like there's no point.
I don't think there's a point. I feel like I'll get to that point maybe next year or the year after, to where I'm like, if I want to, this is the time to decide or whatever. But I don't know if I'll ever want to do that. It depends on how my progression happens or how it looks, I think.
Yeah, it's like you're making good gains without it. If you were to stay consistent for 2 more years, actually eat like 200 grams of protein every single day for the next 2 years, and work out 4 or 5 days a week. How much do you weigh right now?
I'm close to 170 now. I like vary from 168 to 171.
Like if you ate 200 grams of protein for the next 2 years, every single day, didn't miss a day.
Yeah.
Worked out 4 to 5 days a week. You'd probably be 175, like more muscle. You'd probably gain like 8 pounds of muscle, let's say, but you'd be 175 because you would lose body fat.
Yeah.
And gain muscle. And you'd look completely different.
Yeah.
Like 8 pounds of muscle. Unless you're 6'12".
Which I am.
Foot.
Everyone knows I'm 6'12".
6'12".
Yeah.
I don't like to sound too tall, so I say 6'12" instead of 7 foot.
No, 6'12" is one right below 7 foot. Everyone knows.
Yeah. 12. 13 is the next foot.
No, 7 foot.
Yeah.
It's no 13 foot. Come on.
6'13". 6'14".
6'13" is just 7 foot.
If I was 6'2", I would say I'm 5'14".
I'm 6 foot 24 inches.
Dude, people say on my Instagram a lot, they're like, short king. I'm like, what is short? If you're under 6 foot, you're short.
Dude, the rule varies because I've seen.
Depends on the person, I feel.
Yeah. Like. I think the average height for a man is 5'7".
That's 5'10" in America.
Is it really?
That's the average.
I thought it was 5'7".
No, the average in America is 5'10". 5'7", I feel like is the average woman height.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I'm average king.
I mean, I don't think you're short by any means.
I'm not short, but like not tall either. Well, I'm actually the average.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like average. I barely make the cut for tall because I'm 6 foot, but I'm like barely 6 foot.
And you slouch a lot.
Yeah.
So you're basically 5'8".
Yeah. So everybody thinks I'm freaking like, hey, how you going? They're like, wow, this guy's short. No, I'm not.
Yeah, you don't seem that much taller than me because you're always slouching.
It's true. I need to get one of those things.
Yeah.
Make my bones. My bones don't like it. Like when I sit up like this, it feels like my bones shouldn't be doing that.
Like it feels uncomfortable.
Yeah.
That's so weird.
Yeah.
I've always kind of like stood up straight.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if it's because I work out a lot on my back. But you kind of have that crooked thing.
Yeah, I got all sorts of crooked stuff going on.
What's it called? Crookeditis?
Probably something like that.
Crocodilitis?
Crocodile.
Crocodile.
That should be my Instagram name. Crocodile.
Crocodile. That's like a Pokemon.
Crocodile hunter.
Crocodile hunter.
Pokemon. What's that Pokemon?
Crocodile.
It's Pikachu. It's Crocodile. Shit.
Is that a video?
Yeah. It was an old video. It was I think it was a Vine. You know that part in Pokemon, like halfway through the episode, they would do, what's this Pokemon? It's like the blackout outline of it.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, Pikachu. And they're like, it's Squirtle. And he's like, shit.
It just always says Pikachu.
Yeah. That was such a good one.
Pikachu.
He's like so into it. He's just amped. Oh, man.
Dude, I got that new Pokemon game when it came out.
Yeah.
In November. I always get the new one.
Mm-hmm.
But every single time for the past few years, like, I play it less and less.
Yeah.
So like after I beat the game, I'll like keep playing, try to find shiny Pokemon.
Yeah.
Do whatever.
Yeah.
But like each game that's come out, I've done that less and less. Like I beat the game and then like this last one, I was like, I'm done.
Yeah.
I don't have time for that shit.
It's like with games like that, it's weird because you don't have time for it really. It's like your free time. And you got to be really careful. Like, I feel like people, grown adults, and I'm speaking mostly to the male community because it's mostly males playing video games.
Yeah.
You really need to have time management if you're going to play video games. Like, prioritize. Your video games are not important. Do not be playing video games all day unless you can multitask and do your job just as good as, like, if you have a tedious job.
Yeah.
Okay, I get it. Like if you're just like answering emails that come in for your job or answering calls or something, I don't know. A lot of people work from home now and they make the excuse of like, I can do my job. And it's like, okay, cool. If you kind of want to do the bare minimum, whatever. Fine.
Yeah, if you want to slack.
Yeah, if you want to progress in your career in any way, you should probably not be playing video games while you're working and you need to time manage that because that needs to be in your little free time bracket of your day.
And it'll be like limited. Like with Pokemon, if I sit down and play it, 3 hours goes by quick.
Yeah. And that's the thing is like, you need to be like, okay, I can play until 8 o'clock and I need to turn it off. And you need to be strict about that.
I was pretty good about that.
Yeah.
Because I would never like sit there all day.
Because in your early 20s, you don't do that. Like if you're a video game player in your early 20s, you're like, oh yeah, I'll stop at 8 o'clock, and then it's 1 o'clock in the morning. You're like, oh man, I'm tired. What time is it? Oh, oops. Oh well, I'll just keep playing, and then you play until 5 o'clock in the morning, and you got to wake up in an hour.
Yeah, I pretty much never did that in my early 20s. The last time I did that was when I was like a kid.
That was me,
like middle school.
That was when I got out of the Marines. I mean, the only thing I did was like freaking video games and work.
Dude, I remember it was so amazing when I was a kid, when I got like Pokemon Silver version on Game Boy Advance or it was Game Boy Color.
Yeah.
And I could just sit there all day and play.
Yeah.
And it was so great. Like the graphics kind of suck, but like you're catching these Pokemon, you're raising them.
Yeah.
You fantasize more when you're a kid. Like you have such a good imagination that you like become that player.
Oh yeah.
And like those are your Pokemon. Like you love them. You have feelings toward them. You raise them up to level 100. And like you could just sit there for hours and hours and hours and you're like, I'm going to be the very best.
Yeah.
Like no one ever was.
Yeah. And you like as an adult, you can still do that. Absolutely, but you got to be smarter about it.
Right.
You cannot be doing that all day lollygagging like you were when you were a kid.
But I want to do that so, like, I can't get into that space anymore because when you're a kid, you have zero obligations.
Yeah.
And you could just sit there all day and it was great.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I've fantasized about being able to do that.
Yeah.
Like, if I could just take a week off of work and everything.
Yeah.
And play Pokemon.
Yeah.
And not have to care about anything. Like, just erase my responsibilities from my memory.
Yeah.
And just let me play Pokemon like that.
Yeah.
That would be like the best vacation.
The thing about that is, as you become a man, you need a purpose in life. So once you start doing something like that, like this is what I found out about myself and why I learned I needed to do time management with video games and stuff. I was getting insanely depressed playing video games for hours on end because I wasn't accomplishing anything.
Yeah.
In real life, I was just a fucking loser, you know? So it's like, you have to be able to, like, when you're an adult, you have to time management and then like actually put your time towards something, because if you don't, you're just a fucking loser on a couch.
That's what sucks. Like, I have that to an extreme degree. So that's why I can't play for more than a couple hours. And I can't really even enjoy it as much as I used to.
Yeah.
Even with those 3 hours, I'm like, I could be doing something else.
Yeah. That is hard.
I never get fully immersed
into
that, like, oh, this is my Pikachu and he's going to be freaking the
I can, but I just have to be strict about it.
Yeah.
Because if I slip back into that way, I'll just be a freaking loser again, you know? No, I don't want to do that shit. Slacker jacks, man. None of that slacker jacks.
I don't get how people get to like their 30s or 40s and they still like
are just lazy.
Just haven't accomplished anything.
Yeah.
Like I know people that are like 60 years old, never bought a house.
Yeah.
They still rent. They make $20 an hour or like $15 an hour.
Yeah.
And just like have struggled their entire life and never got ahead. And I don't know what it is. Well, like, I know, like, you know, I wasn't born in a really shitty situation, in case anyone, like, I'm not like from a good family.
Yeah.
Or with money at all. So, like, for me to say that is not like someone who's like, oh, I'm all rich. Like, I don't get how people don't do things.
Yeah, exactly. Dude, there's a lot of rich people that are like that in that scenario, that just had everything handed to them. And then so they never learned work ethic at all. So they just know bare minimum is all I have to do. And they just skate by and lose all their money. And, you know,
that's why, people lose their money. Like, big wealth is lost within 3 generations.
Yeah.
Because it's like, I was born in a shitty situation, so I have this extreme drive. Like, I do not want to be a loser. Yeah. Like, I don't want to be 60 and not own a house and like still make $15 an hour and barely be able to pay my bills.
Yeah.
Like, I have an extreme fear of that.
My mentality right now is I want to do better than my dad with my company.
Right.
Because he's done a great job, but he could do better. And I can see that he can do better. And I want to do better and make the company even better.
But then you make the company better. Let's say you retire and you die with $10 million in your bank account.
Yep.
And you've got trust set up and all this crap that's going to go to your kid.
Well, it's only going to go to my kid if he deserves it.
That's what you say, but I'm saying.
I get what you're saying. There's a lot of people that are like, this is your trust fund for make sure you're okay throughout your life. But I mean, I would do what my dad did with me, and I would be teaching my kid all these different work ethics, survival skills out in the wilderness and stuff. That was a huge thing for me. That's where I learned how to cook. That's where I learned how to like actually think for myself, you know, and like situations when you're a kid. I mean, you might not have had this because of the way you grew up, you always kind of thought for yourself. But when I was a kid growing up, it's like, oh, my parents will take care of everything. My parents will take care of everything. That was like a mentality growing up. And then once I started going on these camp outs and my dad was like, you have to plan the meals. You have to make sure you've packed everything. You go on a camp out, you forgot something. Good luck, dude. Like, you have to figure it out now. That's what my dad would do. He'd be like, well, what are you going to do? You forgot that. What are you going to do about it? And that was like where I learned, like, okay, I really have to think for myself.
Yeah.
You know, I can't just be like, oh, other people will take care of me. You can't have that mentality at all, or you will never succeed.
But I wonder, like, so let's say $10 million, then your kid gets that.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you taught him how to work hard. but then he's rich like his whole life.
Yeah.
And then he has a kid.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he doesn't teach that kid all the hard crap.
Well, that's on him.
I know, but I'm saying, and then that money gets blown away.
Yeah.
But it happens like easily.
It's definitely, I feel like it's a slippery slope for sure.
But I'm like, how do you ensure? Because that's something else too. Like, I don't want to do really well, and then my kid's a pussy.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Is like you have to instill values into your child when you raise them.
And that's why I'm waiting to have kids, because I didn't want to have a kid so young that I don't have time to like teach them. Yeah. Like, this is how shit works.
Yeah. And I honestly, whether I have a girl or a boy, either way, my job is to teach them how to take care of themselves. Yeah. As when they get in as an adult, like, of course, I'm going to help them along the way. Like, I want to be able to, if they can't get the right scholarship to the college they want to go to or whatever, I can afford it. Like, I want to be there so I can help them succeed in the ways they want to succeed. But I also want them to know how to take care of themselves.
Well, yeah, obviously. I'm saying if you have a kid too young, like my mom did, she didn't have enough energy when she got home from work to like make sure I did my homework. Like, she would tell me to, I'd fight back on it, and that's it, because she had no energy to fight with me on that. Yeah. And then
I had that kind of same situation too, because both my parents worked freaking crazy hours.
Yeah. And that's why I want to have a kid where Lily doesn't have to really work. So she can be like, you're getting your freaking homework done. If we're going to fight for 5 hours, I'm going to beat your ass. Verbally and physically if needed.
If needed. Don't let it get to that point.
Dude, with Lily, physical would never be needed. She can freaking cut you. With their words.
She won't even say anything.
Dude, she'll just give them a look. Yeah. And they'll be like,
they won't even be in the same room, and she'll just look and she'll be like, zing.
They'll be like, your kid knows algebra. How did you do that? I looked at him. Yeah. And he popped open that math book and he got to work.
He read the entire thing front to back in about 5 minutes.
Like, how did you do that?
Oh God, she's going to kill me.
He's like, I can do it, mommy. I can do calculus.
I feel like that's the great thing about being in a relationship with a Mexican woman. Oh yeah. Their discipline is on point. They got it, man.
Can you imagine being with like some white girl? Just kidding.
If you're gonna be with a white girl, you gotta do everything.
White girl, bro. They're just gonna be texting.
You mean some independent woman?
No. I'm talking about a Brittany, dude. Like, she's texting all the time.
Yeah, that's what I mean,
just
too.
Uses your credit card.
Yeah, and then she just gives you shit because you're not making enough money for her.
She's like, you gotta slow down on the spending. Dude, there was a freaking TikTok like that. This girl, she had a kid with a dude. I think they're married. And the husband asked her, he was like, hey, you need to like slow down the spending, like quit getting like Uber Eats and stuff all the time. Yeah. And spending all this money on clothes. And she was like, she was making the freaking TikTok. And she was like, it just sounds to me like you have a income problem. I don't have a spending problem. I'm like, bitch, you are delusionally psycho.
Drop her off on the corner, dude. Fuck that.
Like, here's what we're going to do. Divorce, and I'm going to keep the kid, and you go get a job.
Well, first off, you should never have gotten married to her. Dude, what the hell?
She probably baby trapped him.
Maybe. That's another thing. It's like, guys, you got to be real careful about this. You shouldn't really be sleeping on first dates, because that's where you get trapped. Be smart, guys. Learn the woman first. There's clear telltale signs of red flags, and every guy knows it. Guys ignore them.
Oh, because they're horny.
Because they're
jerk off before the first date.
Yes,
and absolutely. Maybe in the middle of it.
Jerk off. Yeah, and if you find yourself getting to the point where you want to fuck them,
go to the bathroom.
Just rub one out real quick, man. Think with your head, not your head.
Yeah, if necessary, cut it off.
Don't do that. Don't do that. There's enough people doing that.
Like a lawsuit, like a lawsuit shows up at the door. Someone cut their dick off. I'm like, that was clearly sarcastic.
Okay, well, that was the trans people's fault.
Yeah, I'd be like, that wasn't our show.
Yeah,
that was another show.
Has nothing to do with us, man.
They identify as a rock.
Oh my god, dude, that's so scary to me that people are mutilating their bodies like that.
I know. Especially kids.
Do you know what they have to do to make a vagina?
I mean, I could imagine it. You're gonna have to cut off.
I don't know like all of the
burrow
science.
a hole.
Yeah.
Somewhere.
And guess what you have to do with that hole? You have to keep that hole open so it doesn't heal shut.
I remember from the True Life, Florida, when I was a kid.
Yeah.
True Life, Florida, there was this juiced out dude, Joey. We talked about this before.
Okay.
And then Scott Herman was like another fitness guy on there. He was the natural. And then Joey was roided out.
Yeah.
And then there was a transgender girl on there that season, and she was talking about how she had to like have these little like dildos, different sizes.
Yeah.
And she had to like keep stretching herself out.
It's like gauges almost.
Yeah, like gauges. Vages. Vages.
Dude, we just made the perfect company for that.
Yeah. Vages.
Vages. Is your vag not big enough?
Stretch it out.
With a vag.
Macaque. Macaque.
With macaque.
We got vages and macaque.
Macaque. And all shapes and sizes.
Just one shape and size, macaque.
Macaque.
Literally macaque.
We got glow in the dark macaques. We got polka dot macaques.
Purple macaques. Black macaques. No, we don't got those.
No black macaques.
White macaques.
Those are XL.
Brown macaques. Yeah. Macaque XL.
Macaque XL.
Our friend Leroy helped us make those.
This is from Durrell.
Durrell. Yeah. Macaque XL. From Durrell.
From Durrell. Duracell.
Thanks, Durrell.
He can go all night long.
No problem, dog.
And then there's Durrell, and then there's Duracell, the one that can go all night long.
Crackhead.
Never runs out of energy. Oh, man. That's hilarious.
Vagisil.
Oh, God. Whoa. Vagisil.
Vagisil. Vagisil is
Vaginasil.
A douche? Oh, what is Vagisil? Is it like cream?
Vagisil
it's for yeast infections.
Yeah.
Gross.
Yeah. That's for like UTIs and stuff like that.
For those sports players. I don't think it's for UTIs. I think it's just for...
Isn't that what like...
It's for yeast infections.
Doesn't a yeast infection come from a UTI though? It has to do with your pee, right?
I think... No, a yeast infection is when the pH levels in the vagina are off and it smells a little more fishy than normal.
Ooh.
A UTI is a urinary tract infection. If you didn't know, they got a couple holes down there.
Oh, yeah, I know. I remember learning that way too young as a child. Aaron told me that.
Oh, like I thought you saw one.
No.
You were like, what's this one? And what's this one?
Like, when Aaron was learning about porn, he was 4 years older than me. So I was learning a little, because he's like 13 maybe.
So basically,
I was like 8 or 9 when I was learning about this stuff.
Yeah.
And he like was looking at these pictures, and then one picture was an anatomy chart of a vagina. And it showed 3 holes.
That's
and I was
useful.
like, why is there 3 holes? You know? And he was like, there's 3 holes, dude. You don't know that?
He's like 13.
I'm 8 years old.
What if
dude.
he didn't know
of course
either?
I don't
And he
know
was just like, you didn't know that, bro?
He probably was bullshitting. He's like, you don't know that. Come on.
Everyone knows
I know
that.
everything about vaginas. Come on.
He's like, there's 4 holes, actually.
like-
you see this bottom one?
He's like, also, and that's called the labia. And,
That's called the vagina.
and this is the
And
clitoris.
this is the outer vagina, the inner vagina,
The inner vagina. And there, that's hole number 1.
the vagina dingling,
The dingle dangle.
the vagina doorbell.
Well, it says it all on the schematic, so you could just like read it off and be like, and this is the clitoris.
Clitoris.
Yes?
It's a type of dinosaur.
It's like a Taurus, but with a clit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a clitoris.
Made by Ford, I think.
Or Toyota, one of those. I
The
don't know.
Clitoris. Dude, what if we started a car company called Clit and we bought the Taurus name from Ford? The all new 2023 Clit Taurus.
Or just have, just call it an Orus. Because if it's clit, it's already got the T. It could be clit Orus.
Clit Taurus.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we don't got to buy from Ford.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's cheaper.
I'm thinking
That's
of ways to
cheaper,
save the
yeah.
money.
The Clitoris.
By Whamcar.
OUGH silent XS.
By Brothers Anonymous.
Brothers Anonymous.
That's our company. That's the company that bought
Amigos.
the car company.
By Friends White.
by the friends white.
Nobody will ever guess who we are.
We always wear fake mustaches over our facial hair.
Over my fake mustache. Over my mustache. It's the same shape.
People, you just revealed that your mustache is fake.
My fake one over my fake one.
What if your mustache was fake this whole time?
That'd be hilarious. But like, also, I would hope that it would look a little more neat. Always,
right?
If it was fake.
Yeah, real facial hair never settles the way you want it to.
It takes a long time. It took a long time for me to find this.
Do you use wax or anything?
No, not usually.
Or, they have oils too that can calm down your hair.
Sometimes if it's real bushy for some reason, I'll use a little bit of like my hair wax.
Oh, okay.
Put it on there, but pretty rarely. But
mousse
as long as
really
I don't let it get
it.
too long, it doesn't puff up like that.
Yeah.
But like looking back at my Instagram, there was a few times where I would let it grow too far out and too long, and it would look bushy.
Yeah.
But I finally found like kind of where I like it. You know?
Yeah. Dude, facial hair is rough. I went too low on my cheeks today.
Looks pretty good though.
Yeah, luckily I fixed it.
Yeah.
I went too low on this one. I was like, and I was like, how am I going to fix this?
And then you keep going.
I was like, you need to take a step back for a second. Because every time you try to fix it immediately, you fuck the whole thing up and then you have to shave.
Breathe.
Yeah. I literally put the clipper down and I was like, it's okay.
Put the clipper down.
It's okay. Don't panic. It's all right. And then I just like looked at my face for a while. I was like, how am I going to fix this? How am I going to fix this? And then I did it. And I was like, holy shit, that worked.
Dude, we should start a facial hair YouTube channel. Put the clipper down.
If there's anything that I've been naturally good at is trimming my facial hair. It's the only thing that I've never learned from anyone.
I'm naturally good at growing mine.
That's good.
It's a good skill to have.
That is a good skill to have.
Mostly the testosterone raging through my body.
Yeah, probably has
and all
to
that
do
trend.
with that. Yeah. Trim bologna sandwich, man. Oh my gosh.
All right, looks like this is getting pretty long.
Yeah.
Like my wiener.
Whoa.
Well, not really.
Macaque.
Oh, let me tell that story real quick. So we're working on our cabinets.
Okay.
In the bathroom.
Yeah.
Working on our bathroom cabinets right now. I'm painting them. I'm the painter of cabinets. And my wife's in the other room. And I just hear, and she's looking for hardware on the internet. So I'm in the bathroom and I just hear it on the other side of the house. I don't know if I want 8 inches or 10 inches. And I'm like, well, I can't help you with either, so I don't know who you're talking to. I don't know who you're yelling to.
I don't know why you're saying that.
I hope you're talking about something besides that.
Well, do you want like 5.5, like 6 on a good day?
What if we like cut one of those numbers in half, maybe?
Dude, everybody that I've ever asked like what they think my size is has always said that I'm way bigger than I actually am.
Yeah.
And I'll just be like, yep. But I totally am.
Yeah, I always tell people I'm smaller.
Yeah.
Just so.
Oh, I do too.
In case they ever see it, then they're like, oh, it's not 3 inches.
That's the guy's method of, it's the average Joe method. I feel like average Joe. 2. It's like, I have nothing to like write home about.
Yeah.
But if I tell you it's small, then you'll be like, wow, it's a lot bigger than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, it's all perception.
You'll have very low expectations.
Yeah, if you're like, it's 10 inches thick.
Yeah.
And then they see it, they're like, that's not 10 inches.
Yeah, bro.
But if you're like, it's 2 inches skinny.
Yeah, exactly.
They're like, that's like regular sized normal.
Wow, that's pretty average.
It's bigger than small.
It's like right in between.
It's bigger than small. That's what I'm gonna tell girls. How big is it? Bigger than small.
Bigger than a small dick. So whatever that means.
Huge.
Basically,
in comparison,
just let your imagination roam with that for a little bit.
Like if we compare it to a Tic Tac, it's pretty big.
Just marinate with that.
It's
for
quite
a
few Tic Tacs.
Yeah, it's like at least 3.
At least 3.
Maybe even
side
4.
by side.
Side by side.
Not stacked up.
If you grouped them up. That's so funny.
All right, guys. Thank you for listening to our podcast. If you could, see what we mean by our intro, like how this is just dudes being bros.
Bros being dudes.
How we think we're funny. You probably guys haven't even laughed, but we've laughed like 100 times.
Yeah. So that's all that matters to us.
So yeah, leave a comment or don't. Leave it, or probably do though.
Do, please.
Yeah.
That would be nice.
Say I do.
Yeah.
And go check out our reaction channel.
Should we do the 50,000 for this channel too?
50 Shades of Grey? No, just the other one.
Okay.
We'll just do it.
Why
Who cares?
not?
It's $500.
I mean, yeah, it's not that much money, honestly.
And no one's even listening at this point.
Yeah. So
yeah, if you subscribe to our YouTube channel and our reaction channel, either one, when they reach 50,000 subscribers, one of you will win $500. So you can subscribe to this one and our other channel, and potentially, if you're the luckiest person in the world, you could win $1,000.
If you're smart, go make a bunch of YouTube channels and start subscribing.
Wait, what? Oh, like different profiles,
bunch of accounts.
Nah, don't do that
Not
because
channels.
you don't want people subscribe to you that aren't actually watching.
But like, check
algorithm,
into those accounts every now and then.
Like, watch our video on every single one of them every single time.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, thank you guys. See you in the next one.
Adios, amigos.